in the shadow of the Almighty. Once upon a time, in the small, serene town of Serenity Springs, there lived a young man named David. David was known for his unwavering faith in God. Every morning, without fail, he would read Psalm 91 in his cozy room, where sunlight streamed through the window, casting a warm glow on his open Bible. The words were a source of comfort and strength. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. One morning, after reading and praying, David set out for work. He walked down the sunny street, humming a hymn. However, a sense of unease crept over him as he noticed a dark figure following him. The figure seemed sinister, filled with ill intent. David's heart raced, but he recalled the scripture, "I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust." Whispering a prayer for protection, David quickened his pace. Just then, a police car turned the corner, its sirens blaring. The dark figure quickly disappeared into an alley. David sighed in relief, recognizing God's hand in sending the police just in time. He thanked God silently as he continued his walk to work, feeling the peace of divine protection. At his office, David was a diligent and honest worker. His dedication, however, had sparked jealousy in one of his co-workers, Mark, who started spreading malicious rumors about him. David felt the sting of betrayal, but remembered the words of Psalm 91. "You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day." David prayed for wisdom and strength, trusting that God would vindicate him. Soon his boss, Mr. Thompson, called him into the office. Mr. Thompson had discovered the falsehoods and was furious with Mark for spreading lies. Mark was fired, and David's reputation was restored. David knew this was another instance of God's promise being fulfilled, for he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. One evening, as David walked home, the sky darkened, and a fierce storm began to brew. Thunder rumbled, and lightning split the sky. David found shelter under a large tree and prayed for safety. "He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge," he recited, feeling a strange sense of calm amidst the chaos. Miraculously, the storm passed as quickly as it had arrived. David reached home safely and thanked God for his protection. He knew it wasn't the tree that had kept him safe, but God's ever-present shadow. Weeks later, a severe illness swept through Serenity Springs, causing widespread fear and panic. David saw his neighbors falling ill and was reminded of another promise. "If you say, 'The Lord is my refuge,' and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent." David prayed fervently for health and protection for himself and his community. Despite the fear surrounding him, he remained healthy. His faith inspired his neighbors, and many began to recover. They saw how David's unwavering trust in God had shielded him, and they too started to believe in God's promises. One quiet night, David was jolted awake by the sound of breaking glass. Thieves had broken into his home. Fear gripped him, but he quickly remembered, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone." David whispered a desperate prayer for protection. Suddenly, the sound of sirens filled the air. The police patrolling the area had been alerted by a neighbor. The thieves panicked and fled, leaving David unharmed. Once again, God's promise had come true. As David's life continued to unfold, his unwavering faith and the miracles he experienced began to impact those around him. People in Serenity Springs, inspired by David's testimony, started to believe in God's protection. The entire town was blessed with a sense of peace and safety. David's story spread far and wide, becoming a beacon of hope and faith. He had truly dwelt in the shelter of the Most High and rested in the shadow of the Almighty. His life was a living testament to the power of God's promises, and he knew that as long as he walked with God, he had nothing to fear. And so, David lived each day with a heart full of gratitude, continuing to trust in God's protection and sharing his faith with others. Serenity Springs became a place where faith flourished and divine protection was ever present, all thanks to one young man's unwavering belief in the promises of Psalm 91.